Okay guys, welcome to a brand new series, another series, and this time we're going to be playing Crusader Kings. So it's a new game for me, and we're just going to get straight into it. I have briefly played around with a few different, so this is the tutorial guy here, Petty King Mercad. And he starts over there in Ireland. Now you've got the choice. You can start in 1867 or you can start in 1066. Now obviously the two times you start, basically the 1867 here, you've got the Vikings, and this was the time when the Vikings were invading England and Britain. So if you're going to start in this era, the Vikings are quite a good sort of unit to start with, but you can play with any ruler in any era just here. And in 1066, obviously the Vikings have gone back. The Battle of Hastings has just happened, and then King Harold he's got all of England together now, so he's the King of England rather than Wessex. So, your biggest rival then is going to be here. But we're going to play as a different ruler. And we're going to start off, we're not going to start as a king or anything like that. We're going to start off as a duchy. And we're playing on normal, that's the highest of the levels actually. And we need to turn Iron Man on and turn it to normal. So that's the only way you can get achievements, which we want, of course. Now, where do we start? An easy route would be to go down the Holy Roman Empire, obviously, or the Byzantine, but we want to do something a bit obscure. So we are going to go zoom in here. Maybe the thing with Poland are quite strong. I tell you what, on to honour our friend, we're going to play as the King of Poland, King Boleslav the Bold of Poland. So we're going to be him. We have got the Holy Roman Empire over to this side, but obviously they are also Catholic, so that might help us. So we're going to start trying to work our way out this way. So let's start this. We'll just save it. Okay, so this is how you start. So this is me. This is me just here. King Boleslav the Bold. 24 years old. I have a spouse who's 19. And I've got no children at the moment. So obviously that's something we need to get. These are my titles here. And these are all the claims that I have. So all the different duchies and titles. Now as a king, you don't need to really worry about the duchies unless you've got the counties within them. So the first thing that I tend to do up here, you have to choose a lifestyle. Now looking at his stats, the martial lifestyle is definitely the way to go, because that's how he's been raised with his education. So we're going to choose martial, and basically you can choose either of these three and they all have different advantages, if you will. Now I'm going to choose this one because I like the dread. In this game, dread is good, by the way, and that's something I I had to learn, and that just makes people a little bit more scared of you. So if you've got any factions or uprising, then they're a lot less likely to attack you if you have a high dread. Now this thing here shows us our current situation. So grant title. You can grant out the different titles here to different people. Obviously you can't do this one. I'm not gonna grant any out at the moment, but we can do that. Not endorsed by Archbishop. That will improve as we go along. Can grant vassals to rightful liege. So if we grant the vassals to these rightful lieges, it will actually improve our taxes, which we will go through, just not yet. I can declare wars on all these places. I can create titles. Duchy of Greater Poland, Duchy of Mazovia. I can't actually create them yet because I don't have the gold to do so. I've only got 83 gold. Negotiate alliances, and you are in line to inherit 3 titles. I'm first in line for all these duchies here, but these are actually below my kingdom, so if any of these dies, a duchy will go to me, and then it will allow me to reassign it to whoever I like. Now I can negotiate allies. These are all people that I'm related to, so through bonds of blood. I've never actually played with this realm, so they're the Duchy of Kuyavia. I'm going to get a lot of these wrong, sorry Cubsy, but of course we want alliances with these people because they're blood related. They're all within our realm, and also, or within our kingdom should I say, and also if we go to war with any of these, well, they're actually one of the allies, but if we go to a war with any of these, we're going to want as many soldiers as we can, and they'll provide the levies, which are here. Okay, now the next important thing to do is to look at our council. Now we can't change the Archbishop because that is designated by the Pope because we are Catholic. We can get the Archbishop to do various different things, and I always do this. I want to fabricate claims. I'll just go back a second. So Prussia here. If we fabricate a claim on the part of Prussia, then obviously we can start moving into that area. So we're going to fabricate a claim. These are all quite easy to do, so 14 months, so we'll do Sasna. So that's him sorted. This guy here, he can take care of domestic affairs or foreign affairs. I'm going to choose domestic affairs because it improves the vassals' opinions. And this here, we're going to keep him. In fact, we can. So it looks like everything's 6 years, so we can increase the development in different counties, but they're all quite long, so we're not going to do that. We're just going to keep him focused on taxes. Now the find secrets thing I really like, so straight away when we start, we want to start finding secrets. 45% of learning a secret, and what this does, basically, if you learn a secret, you get a hook, and when you get a hook, that means you can raise taxes on people. You can get them to join in wars with you. You know, there's loads of options with that, so it's definitely worth using. And that's the council. The next option down is the court. So these are all the people that are in my court. Now the first thing that you should do before you do anything really is to search for a physician. Okay, start that search, because what that will do, if you get injured or you die, you need a physician basically to repair you. These are your other decisions that you can make. Now these are all major decisions, and that's not going to happen in the early game at least. Obviously I'm quite new to this. I've not done any of these yet. on my tutorial, on my practice runs. I know what I need to do is invite knights, because the more knights you have, the better. And which will take us on to this part here. So this is my levies, which are basically skirmishers, or villagers with weapons. And on here, this is the knights. Okay, so these are your knights here, and the option allows you to either force them to join your battle, allow them to join your battle, or forbid them. Now, the first thing I always do, which we've not actually looked at the moment, but is find my heir. So at the moment, because I don't have kids, Duke Radislav of Kuyavia, he's my player heir. So if I die, I become him. Now that will change because I will have kids, but for now I'm going to forbid him for fighting, because we do not want the player heir to die. So that's what we do. Another option what we have here is to create a men-at-arms. So you can actually buy these different, this must be a special, I've not seen this one before, this must be specialised to Poland. But any of these, I always start with bowmen. Click off that. So we're going to create the men-at-arms, the bowmen, and they're obviously a lot more powerful than your normal levies. So some of them levies will become the bowmen here. And that improves the strength of the army. This is the number of total soldiers we have, and this is the quality of the army. So it's 2 at the moment because we only have 7 knights, and we have just the bowmen. That will increase as we go along and as the army grows. Okay, the next thing down, intrigue. At the moment we'll have nothing on here because we don't have any hooks on people. We don't have any schemes against us or schemes going on. Factions will be empty. That's people that rise within your kingdom against you. And here, decisions, obviously we've just been through that. So the next thing, or probably the first thing you should actually do, if you do it in the right order, is to check out your character. Now Marshall's obviously the big one for him, so that's why we've gone down that life path. It gives you all your titles and your claims here. A pressed claim is a much stronger claim than an unpressed claim. And this guy here is a skilled tactician, so his his martial lifestyle experience will increase by 30% each time. He's a reaver, so his speed on raids are a lot quicker, and he's strong, so his prowess is higher. And then these are his other traits. So diligent, so these are here are the things that it increase. Wrathful, okay, so that's one I like. It decreases these by 1, but your martial you get 3 and you get a 20 dread. Generous, your income goes down but your diplomacy is a lot higher. And brave, so obviously this guy is purely built for fighting, which is what we're gonna sort of aim to do early in the game. The Roman Empire will expand, so will the Byzantine Empire, and then so our idea is to try and pick up these little kingdoms or chiefdoms or whatever they are. Okay, so Prussia is the one we're going to focus on to start with. So let's get this started. So this is coming in now, my allies. So the allies are from this guy here, and then these here. Court physician. Now on these you can, if you click the mouse button, you can click on these as a physician. Or him. Okay, he's cheaper. We're going to go for him. Although none of them particularly good. Your culture is now fascinated by the chronicle writing innovations. So that changes. And just here you can see popping up we have a knight. Geralt, 17. So there's two ways we can right click him and recruit to court just here, or if I just pause the game, we can go over to the knights here, and you see there he's actually our strongest knight. So we're going to recruit to court. He only costs 10, which is actually cheap for one of the knights. So we recruit him, we make him a knight, and then we're going to force him into battle, because he's not a vassal, he's not anything other than a knight. So he's the perfect guy to force, so he will always be there on the front line fighting with you. Now we're just going to check out Prussia. Now this minus 43 here means she doesn't particularly like me. That goes from minus 100 up to 100 positive. So obviously she's have negative thoughts. Declare war. We can actually declare a holy war because she's a different religion. And this is actually what we're going to do. I'm just going to declare that there. So we are now at war. We will raise our armies, and they will raise here. Now you can move your rally point if you want, but we'll go through that later when I need to. What I will do whilst I'm here is just check my spouse. See, she has really poor stats, really poor stats. Normally when you're on the council, this spouse can do different things, so she can help either of these that are quite weak. So my weakest is by far the spy master. I'm going to keep him for now, but he's the weakest, so you would usually... Yeah, I will do that actually. Assist ruler spreads it, so each of the support gives one to each. You can choose, so I can give him 2. No, I'm going to keep it as assist ruler. She'll assist with 1 on each of them. She's not particularly good. If you have a better spouse, that goes up a lot. Can go up a lot higher. Okay, so I've just raised the army, which is here. So the soldiers are just banding together. I'm going to choose the army. Now what I tend to do when I'm in any war sort of frame, I keep it as a maximum to 3, unless we're travelling a long way, which is never advisable. And basically that's the enemy army there. So they're gonna come into here most probably, and try and start attacking sort of our cities. So we're going to head up towards them. Now they've actually got allies that have joined the war. So you see they've started sieging that city there. So this is our army, it's on its way. And we're going to go straight in just there. Now the guy that's joined the war, he's only sent 35 men. We can call 2 allies to war. We can call him. It will cost us 150 prestige, okay? So bear that in mind. So click on here. He's actually got 2,000 soldiers, so he wouldn't be a bad one to call in, and he's only here. So he would be a good one. He has 1,000 soldiers and costs the same, so you know he's the one to call. So we'll call him to war. We'll unpause that. Our soldiers are just on our way up. We'll get here. Okay, another enemy ally has joined the war. We'll get here in a second. See, they're moving away now because they know where I'm coming. So we're going to try and cut them off here. And get straight on into them. And then we'll go to war. Now we'll win this war easily. You can click here and it'll show you the war. We've still got 7 knights. They're 6 champions. That's their knights basically. Okay, so we won that war easily. Now I have discovered that Count Gaudi's inherited contracts oblige him to more than you have collected. So we're going to increase his taxes because he should have had higher taxes. I'm going to quickly pause this. Here's another enemy army. Okay. Not particularly strong. So we're going to head them straight. We're going to go straight towards them. My queen is now pregnant. So we're going to hope that that's a boy. And we're going to try and cut these off if we can. So you can see here we're winning the war by 9%. Just because we've not done much yet, but we are actually much more in control of this war than that reads. Again, we just need to try and get into their domain. So once they've finished sort of throwing their small armies at us, I like to defend before we attack. So I like to cut off any sieges. So see here, we've caught a valuable hostage. We've actually caught the High Chieftain of Milzaz, which is good because there's a couple of things we can do with that. So these are looking to raid, I think. So you can see there's actually a few. Now this is our ally, which is great because he's come just at the right time. Because we will stop this raid, and then we'll go over here. We'll attack these, and then we're going to move into their area. So every time they get beat, they have to retreat. Okay, but then as soon as they get back there, they can come back out. After my army camp's set up, I hear commotion coming from the Knights' lodgings. Investigating the disturbance, I find Geralt and Mayor Vucek, who's Geralt, my old, in the middle of a heated argument with several onlookers edge them on. They deliver a speech about unity to the crowd, have them whipped for delinquency. Well, sod this, I'm going to my tent and stuffing my ears. Okay, so obviously you can see just on this side what will happen. I will gain dread and I will gain martial lifestyle, but they will both get wounded, which is not good. This one here, I have 50% of it working really well. I have 50% of it not. And I'm going to go for that one. Okay, so my pleas for us all, put aside differences, fall on deaf ears as the spat turns into an all-out brawl. Okay, I'm just going to join in the brawl. And it went well. I was the sole victor of the brawl, which, because of my prowess, etc., will happen. Okay, now we've won this war. We can enforce the demands. Within the target title, all titles held by Vidalist rulers are seized, and any Catholic rulers are vassalized. Hostages taken by all war participants will be released. So she will actually be released. I can't, you know, bribe at the moment. Your allies share 100 based on their contribution, and you gain 50 devotion. The most important thing there is now Sasna is mine. Now I'm being raided here. So, who is he? Yat-Vyagi. I don't actually know who he is, but if I go and click on that, I'm sure there is a way. Yeah. Okay, he's just up here. So he's not far at all. He's actually the other side of Prussia. So depending on Pomerania, he could actually be the next target. So I don't particularly need him as an ally or anything, so that's fine. So we're going to grab our army and we're going to go and cut these off. Okay, my daughter and heir, praise St. Bridget Vresislava, has given birth to our perfect little daughter. One day, child, you will carry my legacy. What name would benefit such a mighty lady? We are going to call her, predictably, Bella. Okay, that's that done. Okay, the raiders have I am still being... Oh, I'm being raided here now? Oh, there. The raiders are on the way here. Is that even mine? I don't know. But I'm going to head over here anyway and cut them off. What I will tell you is... Ooh, that once you... I can't declare war at the moment because we are on a truce. So once you defeat somebody, it's quite annoying this. Once you defeat somebody, you cannot go straight away and attack. So I can't attack 1, 1, 1, 1 and go and take over the whole of Prussia immediately. What you can do on the council here, your chancellor will actually, I'll show you here, shorten the truce. So I always choose this after I've had a war, because my target is basically to take over Prussia here as quickly as possible before we move into Yatvyagi there. And I know I am going to be getting these names wrong, so you should feudalise lower. Okay, I'm not... As a non-tribal character, tribal holdings give you neither levies or taxes. You should reform the holding and making it a castle. Okay. So it's a tribal hold. How do I reform it? Again, something I've never done. So it's a tribal hold. Okay, I might need to have a look how to so I can't do any of this. So I'm going to have a look how to change this, because I don't want it to be a tribal village. Anyway, I'll come back to that. First thing we need to do is get rid of this tribe. Take out your sword. Go and destroy them. The good thing at the moment is we still have our 7 knights, so that means not one of them have died. Okay, well that's it. So in 2 months the raid will go, which is great. We can disband our army now, and that will save us a little bit of gold. As you can see here, we are in debt. And basically, guys, that I'm going to end the episode here. That's how you start up the game and invade one area just here. It's a very slow start to the game, but I would say if you are going to try it and play it for the first time like I did, don't start with anything difficult. If you started in 1066, do you know I actually started down here, the pagan kingdom, because around here there's a lot of smaller places who are not going to attack you. You've got 3,000 soldiers, they've got 1,000, they've got 500. The only problems are when you're going to start coming up here. So that's a good place to start. If you're doing 867, I would almost always say start with the Vikings and just get used to it. It is slightly different because they're a tribe. However, if you're comparing armies, you'll have, if you start with Bjorn Ironside, one of the Vikings here in Upland, which is around, it's actually where I used to live, which is here. Well, I actually used to live in Uppsala, but if you start with Upland here, then for example you're going to have maybe 2,000 soldiers. Finland here will have probably 1,000, but you will have treaties with all of these, including Jorvik and all the Vikings who have raided Britain here. So your allies, you've probably got an extra 5,000 soldiers on top. So try that. Eventually you will have to fight them armies, so it does get difficult, but early on it's a good one to start with. Poland I think is going to be quite easy at the start, unless the Holy Roman Empire come for me, which is very unlikely to happen because we're both Catholic at the moment. I'm going to advance west, and I would imagine they will start moving down into France and to Spain. But that's it, guys. Thank you for watching this episode. I know it's totally different to anything I've ever done in the past, but I do love this game, and it's definitely worth trying. If you've ever played any of the strategy games like Civilization, XCOM, UFO, like Joush mentioned, it's definitely worth trying. It's very in-depth, and I've watched a lot of videos, and I've tried this 4 or 5 times before I've crashed and burned, before I feel even a little bit more confident to try and take this on. This could end in disaster still, so it's a learning process. But thank you for watching. This is episode 1, and I hope you come back and watch episode 2. Cheers guys, goodbye.